Everybody, Bruno, dressed up, GM look. I don't even know why I dressed up like this. I was working, and why not? Why not? Pre-draft. We are here with the elusive, the impressive Kamish. Kamish, what's going on?
Hello and welcome to week 4 of the Rowler Sports Network. Goats only, where it doesn't matter about the name on the front of your jersey, it only matters about the name on the back. Let's go. I'm fired up. You're fired up. You're looking all good in your suit. I got Ringworm's jersey on. Let's blow the roof off this sucker and have a good show today.
Well, we got a couple of really good guests. We have Goats Only, Matteo Lindia from Ohio, talking a little bit of MLB, a little bit of football. Sheldon Nasty, he is on. Unbelievable story, football extraordinaire, legend. He runs the ride, runs his company, Redrone Real Estate. It's awesome, Coach. I'm excited.
I'm fired up too. I can't wait to talk to those boys. Give them a little dose of the commish. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Stick around for the whole thing. This is not clickbait or anything like that, but we're going to be talking about. We have guests of the week. Obviously, we're going to talk about cards. We're going to show you the hot cards. We're going to have, you got to stick around. We're going to have a little update about that girl that got arrested. She got arrested in front of my office. They thought Kamish was there. We'll get into that. We have our beefs and griefs. We're pissed. We're ripped up. We're going to do a little bit of review. We're going to have high rolling, low rolling. We got some really, really, really intense ones. Let's get going. So like we start every one of our shows, first segment of the episode, we have a little rundown, the Kamish and his weekly rundown for, I guess it's week 4, right? Coming up. All right, let's go.
Yeah, so, one thing that I want to talk about, is obviously the fantasy goats only, fantasy football. We had Matt Attack, Maple Syrup, going up against Bringing the Heat. Obviously, you can see what happened. We've got 2 teams that haven't won a game yet. That's right, both Blair's Beastie Boys and Saskatoon Assassin finally getting the W. So now we have a dominant leader as Bringing the Heat took out Maple Syrup for the top spot. And that leaves us with the top 4 teams. Bringing the Heat, Matt Attack, Down Syndrome, and Stroud and Proud. So I'm fired up about that, and I think you should be too, because you lost to the Saskatoon Assassin. Tracy Beisel's very, very fired up and pumped up about taking you down.
Well, I'm glad it could help the Beisels.
We're always helping out the Beisels. And so I want to talk about player breakout stats. The top 4 in the QB spot, we have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes has moved up, and Drake May has moved up into the top 4. In the wide receiver spot, we got Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rome Odunze, and Quentin Johnson. In the running back spot, obviously it's James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, and Christian McCaffrey, all taking those 4 positions. And in my favorite spot, the tight end spot, we have Hunter Henry, Dalton Kincaid, Tucker Kraft, and Tyler Warren. So if you don't know, now you know. I'm letting you know. Pick them up. You got a day to pick up and readjust your team for next week. Make the moves now. Now, breakout teams, Bruno, in the NFL right now, I wanted to highlight. In the AFC, the Bills can't lose. And that's a statement. But we also got the Titans and the Jets that can't win. So smarten up, Titans and Jets. Get it together. Now, in the NFC, we got the Eagles who can't lose and the Saints who can't win. So time to put Spencer Rattler to rest. Go back to making Netflix videos. It's time to bring somebody in. Now, Bruno, in the week ahead, we got some very exciting games to watch. Not really, but we have the Niners and the Rams going on Thursday night. So it'd be nice to see if the Rams can keep their streak alive. We've got the Raiders and the Colts, going on this weekend with the Texans and the Ravens and the Bucks and the Shithawks. And then we got the Commanders and the Chargers and the Patriots and the Bills. Never play the Bills at home and expect to win. but those are our big games this week. Plus, in baseball, we got the playoffs. I got my ringworm jersey on. Tatis, he's going to the playoffs. We got Cal Raleigh joins the elite group of players with 60-plus home runs, and the Blue Jays swinging to stop to the top spot in the MLB. They're ready for playoffs, so we got a lot of teams fired up in the MLB, ready to get going.
Well, Coach, I want to touch on something. You see me disappearing a little bit because people are texting us on the show here. They know we're live, but here's what I'm going to tell you. I'd love to play back the tape, and you're saying the Giants will definitely not be winning this week against the Chargers. And
You know
guess
what?
what happens?
I'd like to also admit how many games I was right on. And,
No, yeah, you're right.
That Sports
You're
Select
right.
ticket, I hit, 90% of my picks were hits. And you're right. The Giants, they came through. I don't like the Giants, but let's say something about that fresh new quarterback at the helm, Mr. Dart. He lit it up, man, and it looks like he's here to stay.
Speaking about Dart, do you need a break?
No, I'm good, brother. I'm good. I got the Nicorette. Let's go.
Okay. All right. Here's the other thing. I'm sure you were excited about the end of this game because your boy got traded to the Packers, but tell you what, a tie?
Yeah. I had that conversation with a few players or a few Goats only players and some friends, and I'm like, how does it end in a tie? And, NFL's got its rules. Nobody could get the job done in the end. So, we saw that tie. I think it was 40-40.
Pretty interesting when you saw Jerry Jones talking about the trade. He's going, they got one, we got more than one. And he goes at the end, he goes, all those trades and all those talks and all those criticisms, it's a tie. So.
Yeah. Jerry's trying to make some money for the family. I understand where he's coming from. I mean, charge a little bit more for the hot dogs and cut a few of their expensive players. I mean, they don't have many guys left, but the Cowboys are still rolling. They're not losing, so we got to say that, And I'm fired up because we got some great guests coming up next. I know you're excited. I know I'm excited, Bruno. So let's bring on the guests.
Let's go. Hey, everybody. Now, the Goat Zone. Goats only. Invitation Goats only. We got the one, the only, number 33 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, my son, Matteo. What's going on, Matteo?
What's up?
What's up, Matteo? Nice to see you, brother. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. It wouldn't be Goats Only without you. So thanks for showing up for us. We love you. We're grateful to have you on.
Good to see you, Coach. I love the Tatis jersey.
Yeah, I had to have a little ringworm on there. You know what I mean? Like he's going in the playoffs, but he could have said he took steroids. Ringworm? Come on, Tatis, you wanker.
Didn't help him today, though, I don't think. So that's all right.
That's all right. Playoffs are starting. Baseball's coming to the closure, so I'm fired up to watch some games for sure.
All right, Coach, you got a quick question?
Yeah, Matteo, I'm gonna dive right into it here on the Goats Only. I'd like to understand and learn a bit. I've talked to a lot of young athletes like yourselves that, worked your ass off in Canada to take your game and play baseball in the U.S. and go to school and get it sorted and figured it out. How was the transition from Canadian baseball heading into the U.S., playing baseball and then also having a ton of schoolwork and everything? How are you handling it, and how was that transition?
I think the biggest thing was just the difference in competition for sure, going from high school and being, the difference of high school baseball, even from American high school baseball to college, is just, you might have 1 or 2 guys in a lineup that can really do damage. Here it's, 7, 8, most of the time 9 guys in the lineup, because, whoever's starting on a college team is usually the best player on their high school team. So going from that, that was a big adjustment, I would say, is the biggest thing. That in the pitching for sure. Didn't see a lot of velocity up in Canada, so coming down, I had to adjust to that pretty quickly.
Gotcha.
So, Matteo, one of the questions I have, if you get me or Coach Benny on the field, and you have the choice, 9th inning, and you're out of all the players in your college team, who do you pinch hit, me or the commish?
I think I'm taking Benny. I think there's a bigger chance that he looks like he's more of a presence in the box, maybe intimidate the pitcher, draw a hit by pitch or something like that.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. As long as you hit me with a pitch, I'm good. And I can take a couple pitches. I can take a couple hits by pitches, no problem. And I would do that
for sure. Yeah.
I would do that.
I think that's
the ninth inning.
I think the only thing that would happen is you're going to get a delay the game call by the umpire because they say, hey, 23, your jersey's on backwards. That's number one. Number two, when coach gets on first base, you pinch run me because you know there's no ashtrays at the bases.
I got Nicorette gum, so I'm good. Plus, you know, in Goats Only Fantasy League and the Rowler Sports Network, you know, we rolling. It doesn't mean shit about the front of the jersey. All that matters is what's on the back. And so, you know, we stand behind that. We're not talking about teams. We're talking about players. You know, and Matty, I got to ask you a question, you know, without discussing your standings in my Goats Only NFL Fantasy League. You were a dog last year. You brought it last year. You know, this year you're struggling just a little bit. But talk to me about baseball. We got playoffs coming in. I mean, I know you're watching. You and me had a lot of pickups in the past. Jaron Duran, other players, you know, we're buying sports cards together, making moves. Who are you picking for like breakout players in the MLB playoffs? Who are we watching? You know, what games are you watching? And what players do you think are going to stand out?
Well, first off, you threw some shade to the fantasy. I think I got to say, first off, 1-3, not the best start, but in my defense, I had one of one pick overall, and this is the first year I've ever had to do an auto draft because the time of the draft, my car broke down. I'm on the side of the road, and I had to get, you know, there wasn't much I could really do about that. With that being said, my one of one overall auto draft, Jamar Chase, has put up 7 or 8 points in back-to-back weeks. So I don't really know if that's on me in this case, to be honest with you.
Very interesting you say that because, you know, you had a chance to pick up some Colts players. I know you've always loved the Colts because I'm always flipping you the Manning cards. Your Colts are on freaking fire right now. And so, I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely love it. Real quick, Red Sox just took the lead on the Yankees. Just think I'm going to throw that out there as we're talking. But yeah, the Colts are on fire right now. Had a little hiccup last week, but nothing you're worried about. A little celebration at the goal line, dropped the ball prematurely is what it is. Other than that, I mean, I think they played really good football. Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, he's doing really well.
Danny Dimes. And remember, you know, I let Burrow have it until all of a sudden we had to lay off Joe Burrow. As you might well know from the previous episodes, I let Burrow have it pretty good. But we know Jamar Chase ain't going to do shit with this current quarterback for the Bengals. So you're just going to have to sit him until Joe fixes his little hangnail or whatever the fuck's wrong with him.
Yeah, I agree 100%. You know, I think the Bengals really, if they want to compete, especially in the division, they got to trade for another quarterback, trade for a backup on another team who's like a little more competent, like get Kirk Cousins in there. And then maybe Jamar Chase can drop me, you know, at least like 18 points. I mean, him giving me 7 is not doing me no favors. I mean, I think my 3 losses, I've probably combined lost by a total of like 22 points. And, you know, it really is just Jamar Chase. He's given me one good week. And other than that, it's kind of been a dud. So.
Yeah, I had to punt Pacheco. I had to punt Jamar Chase off one of my teams. I'm with you on that. But you know what? There's plenty of talent to pick up. We got a big week ahead of us. But tell me a little bit about the MLB playoffs. Please talk to me about who you think's going to win and who you think's going to be like the standout players, you know, to watch for.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I said this morning, I was talking to some friends about the Indians and the Tigers, is I think Tarek Skubal is going to be absolutely on fire, and he was. He had 14 Ks today. I have a bunch of friends who are Indian fans, and they were talking about how, you know, he got, you know, touched a little bit against the Indians last time, but I said, you know, when the playoffs come, he's going to show up. And that's what he did today. And now, as we speak, the Red Sox just took the lead on the Yankees. I'm a huge Red Sox fan, and I think that's a really interesting series. So far today, it's been a pitcher's duel. Max Fried gave up 1 run. Garrett Crochet, or pardon me, Max Fried gave up 0. Crochet just 1, and now the bullpen of the Yankees is kind of selling it. But I think tomorrow's going to be a good game as well. The Red Sox hit lefties really good. I really am hot on the Red Sox. And this is without Roman Anthony, who's been out for a while. So as soon as that kid gets back in there, I think it's going to be firing on all cylinders.
Well, when the MLB comes to a close in the next few weeks, you and I will have to get together on pristine auctions or something and pick up some baseball cards when they
100%.
simmer down a bit.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
Matteo. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Matty.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say, let's have a prediction. Who's going to be in the finals?
Unbiasedly, I think it will probably be. I do honestly like the Red Sox, and I like the Mariners as well. I like the Red Sox top 3 pitchers. I think Garrett Crochet is basically a guaranteed win when he's pitching. Tonight was a bit of a pitcher's duel, but like we've seen, as soon as you get into the Yankees bullpen, it's we're all right. Brian Bayo's been absolutely on fire, and honestly, the bullpen as well. Aroldis Chapman in his 37th year. I mean, he's 37 years old, having his best season of all time. So, I mean, you got to be excited about that. I do also like the Tigers with Skubal. I think the offense is a little shaky, but they showed today that Skubal can anchor it, and that could be really interesting. But Mariners as well. The only thing concerning with them, I think, is the bye. We've seen a lot of talk about the last couple of years since they changed the wild card procedures that these teams get some bye weeks, some bye days, and it messes them up. They lose their flow a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. But I think overall, my AL pick is probably going to be Tigers or Red Sox, to be honest. On the NL side, I think a lot could happen. I do like the Phillies. I think if there's any year they're going to win it, it's got to be this year, especially with Schwarber so hot. But you can never really count out the Dodgers either. Their pitching is, if it comes together, it'll be the best in the league at this point. If you can get Snell and Glass now and Shohei all going, that'll be big for them. So I'd look for one of those two on the NL side, although I hope it isn't. I would love to see the Reds do something really special, but that'll be determined, I guess.
Well, how about are we writing off the Brew Crew, Matteo?
I think so, honestly. I mean, I think this is their best. This isn't even really their best team in the last couple of years. They've always been sneaky since around 2018, 2017 when Yelich got there. And they've had better teams. They blew it in 19 in the wild card game. 2020 doesn't even matter. I don't even know what happened then. But 21 and 22, I think they had good chances as well. And I think this is just typical Brewers. They somehow win the division with a really good season, and then they don't have the power for the playoffs. You really do need that slug in the playoffs. They got away with a little bit of money ball and a little bit of plug and play and platooning and stuff like that in the regular season, but they really have to lean on their pitching because they don't have enough slug, I think, for the playoffs.
Kamish, who's going to be in the finals? 2 teams. Let's go.
Geez, I'm following Mateo's lead always, but we can't count out Cal Raleigh with this joining the 60 home run club. Mariners looking pretty good, but you guys know baseball, and I don't. So but I always listen to Matteo when it comes to baseball. He tells me the truth all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going Dodgers Yankees rematch. Got to do that. And Coach Kamish, you have all the collectibles. We're going to talk about cards and stuff like that. Here's something worth a lot of money right there. Individually signed Matteo Lindia 2011 original. Got it right here. Last thing, Matteo, if you really know baseball and fantasy sport, this is the question for you. Next to the commish, who is arguably the worst commissioner in fantasy sport of all time?
Yeah, I don't know if Benny even knows this one, but I definitely know it.
Yeah, let's go.
Coach?
No, man.
It's got to go to, with the exception of Benny, it's Mike Trout himself, of course.
That's right. Mike Trout, worst commissioner in fantasy football, baseball, or football too.
Just ask Tommy Pham and ask Jock Peterson. They'll tell you that for sure.
All right, we got a little special treat here, Matteo. Just see if I can cue this up. There's a great looking swing from. Let's see what happens here when I play. Hopefully you can hear it.
Let's go.
Okay, that prompts the. Yeah.
Shout out.
Okay,
shout out
so
to
that prompts the question, Matteo. Are they booing you at a home field? What are they doing?
No, I think they were chanting Moose. That's my nickname. And also, shout out to that pitcher for throwing it like 80 right down the cock. That was awesome.
All right, somebody's got some studying to do tonight, and maybe icing body parts, or maybe checking the oil, filling up the gas, and eating some food. But Matteo, great time having you. Miss you.
Yep, get that protein in, brother. I can't wait to see you soon. Good luck with the rest of the season. Good luck with school. Get home safe. We love you. We got you. Thanks for coming on to Goats Only, baby.
Did you say get that booze in? What did you say, Coach?
Protein, baby. Protein. Get the protein in.
Gotcha. All right.
Thanks, brother.
See you guys.
All right. Peace.
See you, Maddie. Love you. Bye. Okay, everybody. Now here we are. Guest of the week. Holy moly. What are we doing here, Kamish? Who we got?
Super fucking guest. Let's go. Welcome, Nasty, to the Goats Only show. We appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us. This is where we separate the men from the boys.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on, guys. I've been able to catch your last few episodes, and I'm excited to be on with you guys today.
Well, it's nothing like having a goat on the Goats Only show. I got to say that. So thanks very much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
Listen, I'm going to jump right into my first question, and I'm going to keep it in line with our sponsors, Sheldon. So, I mean, I got to ask you, have you ever shopped at the Bay or Blockbuster? Those are our two sponsors of today, and they all want to know whether you've done a little business with them in the past.
I'm a big Blockbuster supporter. I haven't seen one in my neighborhood since we've moved into this new house about 20 years ago, but absolutely, that was date night every Thursday night, Friday night. My favorite was picking up like a big thing of like the chocolate covered almonds to go along with your 5 VHS or your 5 CDs or DVDs and a couple of games for the weekend. Dude, I miss that place. Yeah, you're lucky to have that sponsor.
Yeah, straight from Oregon, the last one left on the planet. So we got them.
Yeah.
And we rolling. We rolling with them. You're riding, and we're rolling.
Big fan of Blockbuster.
Excellent.
All right. Well, why don't we start off, Sheldon? First of all, congratulations on all the great success. You're a great friend. You're an awesome guy. You've done so much. Iowa State, Stampeder. You're a Saskatchewan Rough Rider. That was your dream team to play for. Well, you know what? Why don't we start off by maybe talking about this, Mr. Tube Steak.
Yeah, that Bruno, that brings back some memories. So, well, where do you want me to start? I guess, everybody takes a different path to the CFL, the NFL. For me, I tore my pec my last year in college and missed a lot of games. NFL was out of the question. I signed on. I was drafted to the Edmonton Eskimos with Ron Lancaster. Didn't work out. Went to Hamilton. Didn't work out. And I found myself at 24 years old in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, with a chance to run a couple of hot dog carts and a coffee cart. And I had a little team set up. I don't know if you remember, but the Saskatchewan Rough Riders used to have their training camp in Saskatoon where I was living.
Right. And
one of the nightclubs that I had it set up in front of, every night during training camp, there'd be riders coming to the bar and it'd be like, yo, man, get me a dog. And I remember thinking to myself that just 2 years earlier, I was playing in the Big 12 in front of 90,000 people, nationally televised games. And here I am serving these jokers hot dogs. And it really bothered me. I was okay with the fact that I might not play professional football, but then to become their hot dog seller, it just killed me. So I did what any good self-respecting Saskatchewan boy would do, and I just called my mom and I said, "Mom, this isn't right. Where did my life go so wrong?" And you know what she told me, Bruno? She said, "You know what? Just let them know you want to play." I'm like, "Mom, This is pro sports. You can't just call them up and say, I want to play too, right? It doesn't work that way. She goes, well, if I don't know anything about sports, then don't complain to me. And we got off the phone, and and I started thinking about it a little bit more, that, you know what, here I am just feeling sorry for myself. I'm in Saskatoon. I'm feeling bad. And the team I want to play for is right there. And so I thought, well, I'll give it a try. So I called up. At that time, it was Coach Cal Murphy. Gave him a call. Of course, no call back. Called him back, excuse me, a couple of weeks later when they're back in Regina. It's week 2 of the season. I'm calling back again. And, same thing, no phone calls back. And now I'm mad. Like, that's just kind of disrespectful not to call another, fellow Saskatchewan football player back. So one day I just actually just jumped in my truck. I shut down the carts for the day. I jumped in my truck, drove 2.5 hours to Regina, waited about 3 hours for practice and meetings to end. And walks out Coach Cal Murphy. Talked to him for 5 minutes, handed him my game tape and says, just letting you know I'm in town if you guys need any help. He goes, okay, we'll take a look. We'll call you if we have any need. Drove 2.5 hours back to Saskatoon. That night, as I'm walking the door, the phone rings. Is Cal Murphy. He's like, defensive coordinator wants to come check you out, see if you can still move like that. I'm like, no problem. He goes, can you come down tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, I can. So same thing. I drove back in my truck the next morning, drove down to Regina, got a workout. I had to actually even borrow shoes, so they didn't even have football shoes at this point. And so I got Big Andrew Green. I don't know if you remember him, number 68, size 50. Shoes didn't even fit. But I wore the shoes, went through the workout for about 15, 20 minutes. At the end of it, he says, well, we got you on tape. If we have any need, we'll let you know. Jumped back in my truck, 2.5 hours back to Saskatoon. And once again, the phone rings, and it was Cal Murphy. Says, you're moving to Regina. We got a contract for you. If you can come on tomorrow and sign, we're going to get you on the roster here right away. We had Scrivener was injured. Van Wise had a bad knee. And that was my opening. So you never know where your opportunity is going to come from, though, guys. It's just, I'll tell you this, it's not going to happen sitting on your couch. You got to get out and you got to at least do something, right? And in this case, I think the number one thing I learned is, you got to listen to your mom. You think about that. She actually called me out, right? She's like, well, if I don't know anything, just don't complain to me. Basically calling me a little bitch for complaining, which I was. And all it took was for me to, get off my butt, jump in the truck and go see somebody eye to eye.
I do appreciate the entrepreneurial spirit. And we know that lips and assholes sell big time at football games, baseball games. Everybody loves a hot dog. I mean, I don't care if you show them what's in it, they're going to eat it. So, but what a step, what a move from, starting your own business with the hot dog carts, and then all of a sudden you're back on the field doing something you love. That's a story that I'm.
You know what the real story would have been, though? And I've talked about this with Chevy, like in the years past. I could have gone down to Belichick's office. Belichick is always looking for someone who's cheap that's going to run up and down the field on special teams. You never know where the opportunity is going to come from, but you got to reach out, right? You have to be the one to make the call.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, Sheldon, last week you saw the episode, and we had Ben's young son, Alex, and to a certain extent, my kids. They rang on doorbells, and then here they are. They're telling us their story. So, yeah, you have a choice between making it happen and letting it happen. And good for your mom. Tell you what.
Yeah. So, you got to listen to your mom. It doesn't matter how old you are. Mom knows you best, and sometimes you just got to humble yourself and take her advice.
Well, why don't we move forward? You ended up in Calgary. How did that work out? There you are, like doing a little Macarena there. So yeah,
Calgary was great. My first 4 years I played with the Riders, which like crazy awesome experience for a kid from Saskatchewan. But back then it wasn't the easiest team to play for the local kid. And when free agency came around, I went to the open market, and I think it was Jim Daly that called me first and kind of explained why Calgary is such an awesome city to live in. And you know how they really got me hooked was when Daly says, well, your income taxes are lower, your property taxes are lower, you're going to save yourself about $10,000 a year just in taxes by moving here. You're going to have off-season opportunities with jobs. There's a great city to start businesses in. And that's what really kind of sold me on Calgary, because before that, I was your typical Saskatchewan guy. I hated the Stampeders. I had nothing for that team. But it's different when you go and play. Yeah, it was a little bit of a unusual like feeling when I first got here, though. It's, of course, we had an amazing defense. Alondra Johnson was still there in his last year. We had John Grace, we had Demetrius Maxey, Joe Fleming. Like, we had an awesome defensive line, great front seven to play with. But it was funny because every time that we used to come to Calgary, I'd always see people in the stands from my old high school or different parts of Saskatchewan that I knew, and they'd always be decked out in a rider gear. Yeah, Napastuk, let's go, kill the Stamps. And then and you get there and you realize that those same guys are now wearing Stamps jerseys for most games. And then when the Riders come into town, those same guys switch back to the Riders games, and they're cheering for you one week. The next week they're calling you effing traitor, you loser. And so it was really interesting because at that time there was a major rivalry between Calgary and Regina, and it was kind of neat to get to play on both sides of that. Calgary was a lot of fun. Got to play with a lot of great players, and obviously a great city to settle down with and make a living after the game.
Hey, Sheldon, what's interesting, you were talking about Jim Daly. I bet you that's the same line he used on his wife when he moved from Ottawa to Regina, because he was a school teacher and pretty successful with the Ottawa Sooners, and he coached GG's for a bit, and then he went to pro and he came down to the circus, right? So that's awesome. Why don't you talk to us about the state of football a little bit? Rules changed. I know the commissioner's got a couple other really good questions. Rules changed last week. We had a quick conversation about that. What are your thoughts?
I honestly have no problem with the rule changes. I know it's getting a lot of hate for being too American or whatever, but to me, they haven't changed anything that makes the game Canadian. The 3 downs, the waggle. I'm a little bit concerned about for me, the most exciting part about the CFL is like the last 3 minutes of the half and at the end of the game. I'd like them to keep the stop time there because a lot can happen. But moving the goalpost to the back of the end zone, I mean, if you designed the game today and you're just drawing it up from scratch, would you put the goalpost in the middle of the field? Mm-hmm. It never made sense to me, because I'll tell you what. Here's the thing: is when it's third and goal from the 1, and we're all up there, we've got our fingertips right on the goal line, and you got Brian Clark or whoever behind you, the linebackers. They are dodging those goalposts, like they are in the way. They become a safety issue. If there's any motion, you're running into them. And you can say that's a part of the game, but it was a stupid part of the game. The NFL used to have that too until I think it was like the early 70s that they moved it, because guys are getting hurt. Every training camp, you'd have the new Americans running a post pattern and knocking themselves out on the goalpost. I mean, it's just a bad idea. And by doing that, I think they solved the other problem, which was, I love the rouge, but I don't like accidental points. So now with it in the back of the end zone, to get that rouge has got to be intentional. Either I'm giving it up and exchanging a point for field position, or I'm being rewarded for great coverage. If I need a point to win, that's still an option. If it's outside of field goal range, there's different ways to get it in for the rouge, and I think it's going to open up some creative plays. So honestly, you can put me in the camp of I'm willing to give it a shot. I don't get the getting rid of the 55-yard line, other than it seems a little bit random. I mean, you could have made it like the 57-yard line or the 62. Like, why 55? It's kind of a random place to go instead of going up to 50 and back. I don't know if I love that, but the rest of the rules, I think they work.
Kamish, what do you got?
I got to tell you, that's why we're not the ride with Chevy and Nasty. I mean, these guys are smart. They know football. Very impressed. Listen, Nasty, I got a question for you. Amazing career. I'm a big fan of the Chevy and Nasty show. I mean, I subscribe to the ride. I like it. I noticed you guys are everywhere, all over the Google searches. So, I mean, you're doing a lot of things right there. You're riding, we're rolling. How did the ride start? Where did you guys come up with this 2 years ago and say, okay, we're just going to do this because why we can?
Yeah, well, here's how it started. Actually, funny story. Back in their Stamps days, like Chevy became a good friend of mine. We were roommates on the road. We actually battled for the same position, and I just ended up kind of sharing the spot. We're roommates on the road, and we got a chance on the Fan 960 to start a little radio show, the Chevy Nasty show. We're on every Monday, 4 o'clock, I think it was. And you know what? We enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun, got to know a lot of people through it. But after football, like, here's the thing about when you're finished with a game, when you're out of the locker room, you're out of the locker room, right? And that's the thing that could be hard for a lot of guys when they leave. It's not like you go back and hang out with your old teammates and play video games. It's them. So Chevy went on and played for another 15 years. It felt like, as a long snapper. I think he snapped until probably like 2018 or something like that. And I moved on kind of with my life, and Chevy and I would talk, a couple times a year or whatever. But it's during COVID that, when you're all in your little groups and nobody's getting together, you just start missing people, and you start missing certain aspects of that life. And Chevy and I joked about, getting together, getting the band back together with a show, another radio show. Maybe we'll call up the Fan again. But now it's changed into podcasts. And so over COVID, he says, I'm sick of this. I'm stuck in my townhouse. I'm not seeing anybody. We need to do this. And so we started just messing around with it. I don't know, 2021, some point in there. Joined an American network for a while and got on there. But we realized, sports wasn't really our thing. Like, we talk a little bit. We just talk dad stuff, guy stuff, whatever, right? A couple of years ago, we just started it up with a new group in Calgary and found ourselves a producer. And really what the show is all about is it's Chevy and my Tuesday night phone call, catching up on the week, arguing about pop culture, politics, teams, kids, you name it. Because he's a Chevy, I don't know if you know, he's a big lefty, and I'm a bit more of a, maybe you call me a righty. I don't know where I fit exactly on the spectrum, but we get into it pretty good from time to time, and it's just a way for us to connect and bro check with us, and a live show, so people get to call it, or not call in, but write in, and a lot of interaction. So yeah, that's the ride with Chevy Nasty.
Yeah, I love it, man. I'm gonna keep watching. When's the next show?
Every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
You heard it here first, the Nasty.
So Sheldon, before we go, I'll always remember an answer the legendary Tony Spallettini said when I asked him. I said, Tony, how does a guy that was an all-star high school player, university player, Vanier Cup winner, football, CFL player, end up as a successful deli owner? He goes, well, step one, get cut. So let's talk about We Drone. That's the new NFL for you, right?
Well, actually, when I got out of football, I wasn't into like the media thing at all. I went straight into real estate. I already had my license, got into industrial real estate. Did that for almost 15 years. But in Calgary with the oil and gas markets, just the ups and the downs, and at one point, I just realized I don't even like what I'm doing. Like, football was fun because it was combat. It was a way of expressing yourself, real quick. You had big goals, and you got pretty immediate results. You knew who was won or lost. In real estate, you're working on the same deal for a year and a half, and sometimes it pulls together, sometimes it doesn't. But again, it was during COVID that I thought, this is the great reset. And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, everybody's now shopping online more and more. I know real estate. I never sold houses or anything, but I know this: when you shop for a house, you go online and you see a lot of times real crappy pictures and hand-drawn floor plans. And I was like, what? The big thing in the States right now is professional photography. I've got this drone that I was using in the industrial parks. Maybe I can learn to shoot houses as well. And, so we're sitting up there in Lake Koocanusa in the Kootenays in BC with my wife around a campfire one night, and came up with the name We Drone. And it just started from there. Made a few calls, just like, when you start football, right? Make a few calls. Who do you know? Get them, do a couple shoots for free, find out how you suck and what you have to do to not suck so bad the next day. And you just keep banging it out. And within a year, I was full time. And loving it. I mean, and loving it. It's the money's not the same. You still try to figure out new things, new problems, right? How do I scale? You never had to figure that out when you played football or in real estate, but now it's new challenges. But I enjoy working on those challenges, learning new things. I just most of all just love the creative process.
Sheldon, we're gonna spin the tables a little bit. One of the we have very, very expensive. It depends on who you are, but our rates to be a guest here, you're paying a lot of money to be here, and you're busy and all that kind of stuff. Tons of money, right?
Tons.
But here's a chance for you to ask the elusive commish any question that comes to mind.
Absolutely. So here's the question that comes to mind. You're in Saskatoon and you're running into me at my Mr. Tube Steak stand down outside of City Hall. What are you ordering and why? Are you like a Chicago purist with just mustard? Are you getting the cheese, the onions? What is your perfect hot dog?
You know what? All my life, I want it all. Now, I might not have achieved all those levels, but, I want it loaded. I want the onions. I want the ketchup. I want the mustard. And, don't give me no little skinny hot dog. I want that bratwurst or a big Spalumbo's spicy sausage on that sucker. And that's a great idea. We should call Tony and tell him to send all them sausages up to Saskatchewan, because nobody deserves that quality like, Rough Rider Nation.
Amen. Yeah, that's the truth. I love it because for me, the hot dog is the perfect conduit to whatever you want to stuff in your face.
Oh,
right?
man.
Like cheese, onions, bacon. I've also found the perfect formula. If you're having a pork wiener, you sprinkle on a little leftover brisket from the barbecue that weekend. So you mix beef with pork. If you have a beef wiener, throw on a little bit of bacon, something like that. It just mixes so well.
I've always liked
pro tip for your audience there.
Yeah, I've always liked the crunchy with the softy. Even in a tuna sandwich, I got to add some potato chips. I need a crunch. And I love how that onions and bacon bits and you're right, man. A little bit of that beef going on there. That's got to be, man. I'm starving. I'm hungry right now. That's amazing.
There you go.
So, Commish, that's kind of like our show, Crunchy and Softy. I don't know who's Softy. Yeah, I think you're the crunchy guy.
I'm crunchy, all right.
You're just like mean dude, man. You're a dangerous animal. But Sheldon, you got another show to prepare for. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate this. And thank you very, very much. And we're always in your corner. So
you got to love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And we'll talk to you real soon.
Keep riding. And if you haven't checked out The Ride by Chevy and Nasty, I want you to go and click on the show. It's very well done. Very funny. If you don't know, now you know. Thank you so much, brother.
We'll put the link at the bottom here.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys.
All right. Great job.
Take care, brother.
All right. Oh, we don't have a football helmet on. Okay. We're doing the predictions for the upcoming week. We got the commish. We got a baseball catcher's mask.
That's right. You'll understand a little bit more later in the video what's happened to baseball back catchers and umpires. But we got MLB going into playoffs. I'm fired up. I'm putting the back catcher's helmet on. Let's go. Week 5 predictions in the NFL.
Where'd you get that?
Listen, some homeless guy dropped it off in my backyard, said I could borrow it, so I can barely stick my face in this thing and talk. I can't see shit. But you know what? I do this for you, the audience. I'm trying to bring it. I'm trying to be entertaining. I figure this is the way to do it. So let's move on. Week 5 predictions in the NFL. We got the 49ers and the Rams on Thursday. That's a done deal. The Rams are going to win. We got the Vikings and the Browns. It's Vikings all day. We got Cowboys and the Jets. Who are the Jets? Cowboys take that one with no players in their lineup. We got the Giants and the Saints. I won't make that mistake again. Giants are going to beat the Saints. We got Raiders and the Colts. It's Colts, Colts, Colts. We got the Dolphins and the Panthers. Go Miami. We got the Broncos and the Eagles. Go Eagles. That one's for Blair. We got the Texans and the Ravens. Ravens are going to get it done. Titans and Cardinals. It's going to be Cardinals all day. We got the Bucks and the Hawks. Bucks are going to get it done. Detroit at Cincinnati. Obviously, that's a no-brainer. Lions are getting it done. Commanders at the Chargers. Well, Chargers, if you don't get it done this week, I'll never talk to you guys about you guys again. So let's go Chargers. With the Patriots at the Bills. You don't play the Bills at home. Go Bills. And we got the Chiefs at the Jags for Monday Night Football, which should be in Patrick Mahomes' show all day long.
That's looking good. I'm not going to call you on any of those games. I'll tell you what, but I really believe the Rams are on fire. Solid team. You know what? I don't know. It's going to be a good week as usual.
It's going to be a good week. So now we're going to get a little bit of love for our sponsors today, Bruno. And
All right.
in this sponsor spot, Blockbuster, one store left in Oregon. We love you. We can't believe Netflix and the rest of them took you out, but we're still buying it. I still want my peanuts and chocolate almonds and some popcorn. So thank you, Blockbuster, for sponsoring our show. I'm fired up. You're fired up. We're gonna make it rain for you, brother, out there in Oregon. Next sponsor, we got the Hudson's Bay. Now, they're no longer in business, but they want us to put the word out that collectibles and artwork from the stores are going to be auctioned off soon. So, sorry about that, Hudson Bay Company. I loved you while you were here. I think I shopped at your store twice. It's a wrap, but get in line, get ready for the big auction. Hudson's Bay Company is letting go all the rest of its jewelry.
Coach Benny, you think the fact that you only shopped there once or twice had something to do with them shutting down?
You know what? I like to chase them all, look at girls, go to Foot Locker, go to Sport Check, go to Guess. I liked a lot of other stores. Hudson Bay, they didn't really have good deals. They didn't really have that great of pricing. So I'd go there with my mom on Boxing Day, pick up a sweater, do what you got to do. Thank you, sponsors. I appreciate you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Which brings us to, everybody wants to know, how do I become a guest? We got Sheldon on here. The Goats Only, they don't pay because they are Goats Only. Sheldon wants to be on here. He's great. Great business, great star. Our rate card is up to 3062. If you want to be a guest, if we ask you, it's 3967. Some people have asked us, Coach, how do we get these numbers?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Chevy and Nasty doing the ride. That's a very popular show. You can catch them, on YouTube. They're rolling every week. They're riding every week, actually. So they got the buku bucks to throw our way. You know what I mean? They're sharing the love a little bit, sharing the love with us small dairy farmers. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Well, we're getting hit hard by those tariffs. We're getting tariffed on all those jerseys you're buying, and the upside down jersey, that hockey. What's that hockey goalie mask?
Yeah, we four loads to the truck, Bruno, to set up my little entertainment unit here. So I hope the folks appreciate it. I'm bringing the jewelry. This is the desk jewelry right now.
Yeah, Benny, you know what? If you weren't always on the run, you just have one studio. But we're going to talk about how you're getting around. Commission Mobile, pimped it up. So that's it for our sponsorship scorecard, which brings us to Sports Card Corner. I love this segment. I love all our segments, but this one really brings me back to my youth. I hear something ringing. Is that my phone?
Hold on a second, Bruno. That's the bat phone.
It's not me.
Yeah, it's the bat phone.
Oh my God.
Excuse me for 1 second.
Here we go.
Hello? Yeah, this is the commission. Who's this? Mike? Mike who? You sound like a girl. Oh, Iron Mike. Oh, hey, what's up, Mike? Chill, brother. I didn't say anything about that you sounded like a girl, or that your fight with Jake Paul was a staged money grab. Come on, Mike. I feel like you're trying to bite my ear through the phone, brother. Just, snack on some of those gummy bears from your cannabis company and, mellow out. Come on, champ. You just got to mellow up. Okay, Mike, I'm filming, man. I got to go. Stop giving me shit. If you want to, come and do something about it, you know where I'm at. So just show up. Let's go. Me and you. Let's go. Thanks, Mike. Ciao. And he's freaking out. He thinks I'm making fun of him, but you know what I mean. Mike's just Mike. He's crazy. So,
Kamish, I've known you a long time. I've never heard you make fun of anybody. I think if people don't know, now they know, and I think they take that personally. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Sorry about that, right? But let's go back to the cards.
No feelings hurt on this show. We bring in truth, and we're just real. We're just keeping it real, Bruno. So let's roll out these sports cards. Let's see what we got today. Oh, there he is. The Rams, Matt Stafford, 3-piece game used, numbered to 10, rookie card. Let's go. Finally, after 7 years, I can sell that card. What else we got?
What is that thing going for, Benny?
She's a couple €100.
Okay.
Oh, there's
the newest member of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, lot of trade talk and rumor here, but you know we had to show McDavid. We love him. The game used jersey rookie card. We love that piece. You know, so what else do you got?
Speaking about Iron Mike, remember the game? Punch Out? That was a great game.
The best video
Right?
game ever.
Ourselves.
The
And
best.
they had Tiger Singh. This ain't Tiger Singh, but it's another Tiger.
Yeah, that's Tiger Woods. We love it. We love Tiger. You know, he was watching the Ryder Cup. It was pretty interesting. I mean, the Ryder Cup is simply Happy Gilmore with lots of players. Trash talking, shit talking everybody. Rory was in there shit talking, and then he's crying afterwards that he didn't feel respected by the U.S. fans. I mean, come on, Rory, stop crying, you little wimp. What a wanker. What else you got?
Here's one.
Oh, that's a beauty, man. That's Ink Drivers. Ernie Els, auto. I love that card. That's a nice piece. He's pretty proud of how his team did in the Ryder Cup. So, away we go.
Do you think when he plays out in Italy or Spain, they call him Ernesto?
Yeah, they probably call him Mr. Els, is what they probably call him.
That's right. Well, hey, if ever you want to know anything about sports cards in our sports card corner, or you want to, talk to us about that, Coach, you want to buy some of this? I don't think you're selling any of it right now, but let us know. Great segment. Always great information. Thanks, Coach.
That's right, brother. Nice work.
Which brings us to one of the most anticipated segments of our show, High and Low Rolling on the High Rolling Sports and Entertainment Network. Coach, you asked me to go first on this one. Yeah, you know what? I think some people are going to be surprised, only from the point of view that, everybody knows I'm a Yankees fan. I love the Jays too, but the Yankees are still my team. What's the deal? No fuss, no must, nothing on this kid. Yeah. He is the great Calbino. He hit 60 home runs. All the books, all the movies, everything made. They got a chocolate bar called Babe Ruth, right? It's called the Baby Ruth. I get it, right? All that stuff, he's hit 60. This kid hit 60 and nobody knows him. Hold on. Baseball people know. I get that. But I remember when we had the home run era, when we had Mark McGuire and Sammy, I don't speak English when I'm being interrogated, Sosa, right? Allegedly can't speak English in those times. And they were stopping like the national news to say, oh, there's a home run, and Barry Bonds, right? Even Aaron Judge doesn't get as much as those guys got. This kid, 60.
Yeah.
6-0. He's a catcher. I don't think it has never been done. So my high roll is that, hey, everybody in the mainstream areas kind of bring this guy up. Hey, Kamish and me, hey, good job, Cal. Keep it up. Fantastic work.
Yeah, maybe he can help Julio Rodriguez get his swing back so I'm not stuck with 1,000 Julio Rodriguez fucking rookie cards. But yeah, Cal Raleigh, he's no joke. He's for real. I'm with you.
Okay, here's your first high rolling.
You know what? I got to go and give a shout out to the high roller of the week. Is both the Saskatoon Assassin and Blair's Beastie Boys getting it done, getting the first W in the Goats Only Fantasy League. Look at how happy these two are. They're crazy. They love the Eagles, and they can't stop letting everybody around them know about it. But nice work getting the W. It took you long enough, but I'm happy that you're on the board.
Are those pajamas?
You know what? You never know with those two what outfits they're going to put on, but they're fired up about life, so I got to respect it.
Good for them. Okay, my next high roll, and I got two of them. There is the most, and people know that, our band is the most dangerous rock and roll band in the world. We know that, okay? This just happens. Oh. Yeah, but there's a band that everybody knows. Like, you got the Nirvanas, you got the Foo Fighters, you got all the great rock and roll bands. But we have literally the only clip of the band everybody knows as What You Will. And we're going to play it because they played live at the MLC Fest. True one, okay? Tons of people went down there. we have the clip. We're going to play it, and this is no joke. All right. And what you will, one of the best rock and roll bands you guys will ever hear. And let's play a clip. We are the only ones that have this clip. Let's play it. And here we go.
Balloon Man.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of people there, Bruno. That's a sold
Well,
out.
you're going to see some people, but it's all the way back.
Now that's a good one, man. Those guys can rock and roll. He kind of dances like Mick Jagger.
Okay, well, we're going to put the link under here so everybody can watch it. But right here, we got Bobby C. Nobody lays drywall like Bobby C and writes lyrics. Give peace a chance. We got Lucky Luke LaFleur. We got Chachi Willette. Funky Phil Verrier on the drums, on the tom-toms, and Mighty Mitch Kluche, one of the best drummers you'll ever find. No joke, no shit. And guess what? What You Will is back on tour. Get your tickets. Taylor Swift, get out of the way. Here we go. Good job, Robbie C. And What You Will. That's my high rolling this week.
Gotcha. Well, listen, I got a low roller for us. And my low roller, Bruno, is got to be the MLB using robot umpires in 2026. Here we go. AI starting to steal the show, take out jobs in the MLB. I have seen a lot of complaints about the umps. And obviously, after wearing the umpire cage, I can't see shit. So I don't know how they see anything. But here we go. AI making a move. Robot umpires in 2026. Taking away the jobs from the Americans. There we go.
Disgusting. I can't wait till one of the managers, God bless him, Billy Martin or Earl Weaver, starts kicking sand and starts kicking the shit out of that thing. What's next? What's next? Robotic players? Why don't we do that, right? Isn't that called Madden?
Might as well. Yeah.
So I'm not for that. I got a low roll, and I don't really like to pick on this guy whatsoever, but my low rolling guy moment is really Nathan Rourke. People who know, I like to follow a little bit of CFL. I grew up with it as a kid, really idolized the Ottawa Rough Rider players and all that. But him calling out the CFL rules and he's saying, you know what, they should have just asked us, the players and stuff like that. You know what, could have done it differently. I still think next to Bo, because I'm a believer, I think he is probably the second best quarterback in the league. Had more than a cup of coffee in the NFL. I don't know. Could have handled it differently. The CFL has enough problems. We don't need any more. But Nathan, I hope you do well for the rest of the year. Don't wish you bad. I think you're a great football player. Maybe a little filter on that one. Would have been nicer for the league. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you got to watch who sends you the paycheck. That's for sure.
All right. Talking about putting on the heat. Woo! Got a little trouble last week, Coach, in our fan mail. And I got to tell you, people don't realize, Kamish, how much work goes into it. And now, listen, I've worked with you for a long time. I've known you, Coach, for a long time. I knew you before you were the Kamish. I knew you way before you were on the run, way before you got that, nice set of wheels. We're going to show you in a little bit, right? But I got to tell you, everybody you say, I want to play. Listen, Coach, every kid wants to play on your hockey team. Everybody wants to work for you. But you know what? A couple of things have changed, I think, right? So before we get the fan mail, what's going on here? Like, this is our fan mail room. We have all these people sorting out mails. We feed them. I'm going to use my mouse here. We got some snacks. We got a whole bunch of paper all over the place. They're sorting it out. Look here. Micromanaging. Kamish.
Yeah, our budget, we spend a lot of budget outside the show, obviously on desktop jewelry like you see here, but you know what I mean? Somebody's got to keep an eye on the Oompa Loompas in the back. making sure that they're cutting and mending the video and the speaker quality and the video quality. I mean, we're trying everything we can to push this. We hope we're giving you some entertainment and some stats and sports stats because we love sports, but some real life stuff too. And so, don't touch that dial because, we got right after beefs or right after fan mail, we got beefs and griefs, and we're bringing it this time.
Coach, I got to tell you, you really look like a supervisor there, man. You can work for Jerry Jones. Okay, so here we go. Here is the fan mail that we picked, not you and I, but our interns in Studio ABC and D. Dear Commish, I'm happily married mother. Oh my God, I hope it's not married. No, I don't think this is a marital thing. Mother of 2 teenage boys. The other day, I overheard my older son, age 19, talking to his new girlfriend about twerking. Okay. I have never heard of it, and now I'm worried. Is it a drug term? Is it similar to tripping, getting high, or catfishing? He is scheduled to attend McGill, great university, Ivy League school, on a scholarship, and I'm a little bit worried this possibly, and possibly his new girlfriend, right? Worried about him and his new girlfriend. Please advise, Senor Gomish, what's going on? What's your read on, what is it, twerking?
Yeah, listen, I mean, I'm always getting in trouble week to week with this fan mail. It's about relationships, it's about things and people, and I'm not really an expert at these things. But let me tell you what I do know. Now, you know me, I be rolling to the clubs, I be going out, I be smoking a little reefer, drinking a little bit of Heineken, a little Hennessy. You know me, I'm a giver. I'm a full send or no send type of guy. But let me tell you about twerking. Now, if you don't know, let me break it down for you that I'd like you to buy a box of condoms and put them in your son's room, because if his girlfriend is starting to learn the twerk and starting to twerk, that's baby dancing. That means you're going to be a grandma soon. So if you don't want to be a grandma, shut down the internet so the kids can't see what twerking is, because let me tell you, when the girls start twerking, it's over. It's time for babies come along. It's a powerful dance, probably started in Papua New Guinea, but that's what I know about twerking. I appreciate that. And please, Marilyn, talk to your son. Let him know there's other forms of dancing like foxtrot, polka. There's a lot more dancing moves where kids ain't going to be having kids coming right down within 6 or 9 months. So, yeah.
So,
no
Benny,
twerking.
speaking about dancing, do you still teach at the Arthur Murray Dance School?
You know what?
That's how you knew the definition, right?
I retired, dancing on the bar and the speakers, and me, I love to break it out. But nowadays, I am just focused on making these exciting sports videos for the fans.
So in summary, I remember talking to you before the show, and you said, "Don't be a jerk, stop the twerk."
That's the truth. I mean, the twerking looks good, but number one, baby's on its way once you start twerking. Let me tell you that much.
All right, let's get to work. No twerk. Okay, good job. Good fan mail.
Yeah.
Coach, beefs and griefs.
Yeah.
You asked me to start. I got to tell you, we got a little bit of double bubble trouble again last week. We're going to talk about that. Remember we dumped the gasoline, right? Well, this week, I don't know what it is. I get so irritated going to the grocery store and stuff like that. So, as you know, in our home office here, right, we have showers, we have, we got everything, right? Like this is the place to work. And so run out of body wash, one out of this, one of that. I don't know what I did, but I had a whole bunch probably stacked up. Gotta go. Check this shit out. Check this out. $13. Now, I'm going to admit, because you can see that was over at, I think it was a Shoppers. Now, I'm not bashing Shoppers. $13?
Yeah.
Okay, that's out of control. So, we tried to call the manufacturers, Johnson & Johnson. What do they tell us? Same old shit, right? So, you know what? You know the drill. Boom. Bang.
The Doug Ford,
right?
the Doug Ford bucket comes out.
It never ends. It never ends. Okay? And we're done. Okay? So now you're going to say, okay, you know what? Are we going to be stinky? Well, no, we're not going to be stinky. But that's it. I wasn't going to do the Doug Ford and dump it. But I'm getting tired of this shit. I really am. $13. Now, you can't see it on the other side, Coach, but right next to it says save 50%, $7.95 or some shit. Are we nuts?
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is I'm going to show everybody how to make your own soap. Not on this show. You log on, okay? Make your own soap. So don't be stinky. We're making our own soap. But I got to tell you, Ben, okay, Commish, you're always a bit of a wild wolf. So you tried to make it on your own without watching the video. And check this out, okay? Got a little curly, Coach. Like the abs, though. Where is this?
Yeah, you know, I'm at another secret location that I can't disclose. You know, definitely my hair is important to me. You know, I'm not a body wash user in my hair, but that's all I had. So I poured the body wash, I started washing my hair, and poof, it goes batshit crazy. So you know what, I'm done with that shit, but I guess it's that salt water. I'm not sure. But you know, my locations are always hush hush, Bruno. We can't say shit about that.
So Ben, is that your cell phone in your pocket there?
You know, I'm just happy to see you, Bruno.
Well, good looking hair. But just before you get to your beef and grief, so much fan mail came. All right. Remember we torched the garbage can with the young lady. You might remember her, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the story. Brittany lookalike. She flinged go to our last episode. Here to tell you. Didn't know who she was. She was in front of our office. She thought the commish was here. I know you're used to, the groupies running you around. I didn't know. She's out there, throws it out, boom, catches on fire. Cops come over, arrest her, commish. So I'm telling the world, watch our last episode. This poor young lady, I'm not going to say her name, unfortunately. Okay. But I got to tell you, oh, here it is. We're going to show you the clip one more time. Pretty interesting what happened. Let's see if we can capture this. All right, let's see if I can get this. Boom.
Kaboom.
Okay, gets arrested, right? Okay, so the bottom line is, Commish, they call me and the cops come over and said, you want to press charges? And I'm like, well, I don't know her. And because she admitted that she was looking for you, right? Big fan. You decide not to press charges. What was going through your mind when that happened?
You know, she's blonde. I like the Daisy Duke shorts. I got to be honest. That's what this show is about, keeping it real. And so, I didn't have the heart to see her with a criminal charge on the record. So, I mean, helpless little, I smoked some darts. She's smoking darts. She didn't know where to throw it. She saw the garbage can there, didn't know it was full of gas. Let her off the hook. She's cute. Keep her around. Moving on.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, let's go to your beef. Here we go. This is earth-changing right here.
Yeah, I'm bringing the heat here, and we have ostriches in BC, and the Canadian food inspectors and Supreme Court are trying to destroy 400 ostriches over one being sick. Are you kidding me? Thank you to the members of the West Bank First Nations. Big shout out to Chief Robert Louis. Respect. He loves the ostriches. I love the ostriches. We want to keep nature. We're not destroying things because one gets sick. We got to whack out 399 poor damn ostriches. Just say we can't sell them for food. I mean, we love ostriches. I love ostriches. Save the damn ostriches. You know what I mean? That's my beef for this week. It's got a soft spot in my heart, Bruno. I love the ostriches. They're cute. They're funny. You can ride them. They're great, and we ain't whacking them. So I just want to give a big shout out to the ostriches and the people out there. Save the ostriches.
All right, great cause, Benny. Get a saddle, ride them up. So good job, beefs and griefs. Which brings us to so many people text us. We get fan mail. We get a whole bunch of stuff to guess where the commish is. Now, you may remember the high voltage, danger, aggressive animal vehicle. Commish, you must be making some little do-re-mi on the bets or something because, wow, let's talk about this, your new ride.
Yeah, the fans are supporting us. We're seeing the subscriber number go up. We're seeing the likes and the thank yous and a few comments. You know, we're grateful. We're putting this out there. You know, sports fans and people through our beefs and griefs and high roller and low roller. We're bringing the heat, but we need a better unit. So I donated the previous vehicle to the ZBs, so they got a nice little rock vehicle to go around to the gigs. And, you know, I'm laying low in the Goats Only new van, new bus. I love it. It's comfortable. And, you know, when I'm driving around all across the world, you know, I need somewhere to sleep. I need somewhere to do my notes. I need TVs to watch. I got to play some Xbox. So I feel like that suits me a lot better.
You know what? I could have sworn that was your Uncle Melvin's camper.
Yeah, let's not get into that. All you need to know is that I donated the ZBs, my old vehicle. Now they got a band bus, putting the band back together, helping out others. And, you know, the fans are taking care of me by getting me that nice new bus.
I could have sworn that he's in Europe for the next 6 months with your Aunt Mabel.
Listen, man, you know, we love to talk about our fantasy family, but we don't talk about our other family.
Okay, well, enjoy your ride. That's all I'm saying. So, Kamish, where are you this week? Well, let's talk about
you got
this.
my location, Bruno. You know, Crotch Lake, Ontario. It's a tough one, Bruno. I pulled over for a coffee. I told the bus driver I needed some food, I needed some protein, I need to hydrate. He pulls over. I figure out it's Crotch Lake, Saskatchewan. That's a really tough name to stomach. I would never take my family there for a holiday, but it was nice and friendly to me. We pulled the bus over. We proteined up and you know, hydrated up. Got a couple coffees and not Tim Hortons coffees, by the way. And then we're back on the road. So, you know, we were there for about an hour and a half. So that was a wrap on Crotch Lake, Ontario.
So was that on the way to the Daisy Duke girls' place?
No, but she was on the bus.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Kamish, talking about Tim Hortons, they haven't dropped their price. So we haven't made a difference yet. We're still going to push that cause. The last thing is gas prices went down. They're listening. Went down like 9 cents. Still bullshit, but 9 cents.
Yeah, I figured out that there's the same amount of coffee in the small Tim Hortons coffee as in the medium. It's just the way the cups are designed with a narrow bottom. And so, you know, but yeah, I'm not spending any money there at Tim Hortons, so they are being affected. They felt a little heat because you're not getting your tea with 6 ice cubes and a little honey. I'm not getting my double. You know, so we are putting the pressure on them. If nobody follows us, it's okay. It's a great fucking coffee. But if you are, you know, we're letting them know we're not happy with the prices.
Kamish, saddest part of our show, saying goodbye. What did we learn?
Well, we learned not to twerk, or unless you want to have babies coming around. You know, we're saving the ostriches. You know, we had some great mega guests on. The ride with Chevy and Nasty, we're pumping it. We had Matteo from Ohio, you know, in between baseball and food prep and studying for his school, bringing a little bit of MLB noise our way. Cal Raleigh, 60 home run club. Congratulations. You know, I'd like to say a big thank you to the guests. You know, I'm doubting if any of you are still watching at this time, but if you are, I love you. I'm grateful for you. I also wanted to give a happy birthday shout out. Max Verstappen, keep racing, baby. You were the number one. I still think you're number one. So keep fighting for that top spot. We also got Robinson Crusoe, stranded on the island. You know, he turns like 410 today. And then we've got Robert Downey Jr. You know, he loved the booze. He loved the herb, a little bit of sniff. That guy was not scared. Now he pulls it together. He's the best Iron Man ever. We love Robert, so we got to throw him a shout out on his birthday. But
well, you know what, Kamish, I have one more shout out to give out.
Go ahead.
Here we go. I don't do this very often, but let me share my screen here. Okay, world's most dangerous band. It's our singer M birthday today. So we're going to
Okay.
give her a little bit of happy birthday. Yeah, visit up, most dangerous man in the world. But Kamish, all the birthday wishes, all that, it still gets pretty sad. At the end, we'll see each other next week. I miss you in our location. Drive safe. And yeah, that's about it. Last word, Kamish.
Coach, we're here, we're there, we're everywhere. We got the tour bus. We're giving it. We're bringing it. We're not scared. We thank you very much for taking time out of your days to watch our little performance here. If you don't know, now you know. Get ready for fantasy football week soon. I love you all. Much love.